You have just stepped into the Midlife Revolution, your space to ignite possibility, redefine purpose, and embrace the power that comes with age. Co-hosted by yours truly, Coach Wayne.
And I'm Coach Stacy M. Lewis. And we're two seasoned coaches focused on the midlife community of color. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement. In a world that sometimes forgets the power and the wisdom that comes with age, we're here to ignite a revolution and rewrite the narrative of this incredible journey.
So, whether you're navigating career shifts, rediscovering passions, or challenging the status quo, this is your space. So buckle up. Let's dive into the Midlife Revolution. Hey. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Stacy. Good to see you in the place.
Hey, it is so good to be back, isn't it?
Feels great. Midlife Revolution Unleashed. We're back for a second season. We had 27 sessions or episodes strong last season, and we are here to deliver again for a second season. Welcome, everyone.
I agree. So I'm happy to start. I'm so excited to be here. Welcome, everybody, to the Midlife Revolution Unleashed. I am Stacy Lewis. I am a nonprofit executive. I am a midlife women's coach. I am a lover of God and his people. Well, at least most of them. And I am so excited to be here with my co-host, Mr. Coach Wayne, the VIP. What's going on?
Don't tell the folks about the people that you are not in love with. We don't want to know. We can only imagine what's going on there. But we're going to talk some stuff today, Stacy. And I'm Coach Wayne, the VIP coach. I work with men through midlife transitions and mid-career transitions, making sure that you brothers land in your second half the kind of life that you want. So that's the work that we do.
So exciting. So I hope, Wayne, that you enjoyed our time apart, not doing the Midlife Revolution. And I imagine you're as excited as I am to be back. It is such a gift to be a part of this, not only podcasting community, live community, but this community of folks in midlife really looking to live their second half, their third quarter, whatever, however they refer to it, thriving. So I'm excited about this season.
I am too. And Stacey, a lot has happened. Midlife Revolution, which is now Midlife Revolution Unleashed, has given birth to some children because we're both now on YouTube, which means that folks can go back later and catch these shows on YouTube. And also, we're on your favorite podcast channels. So if you want to just drive and listen in to what's going on, catch a show, we're uploading on the podcast. So, those are available to you guys. And we're just expanding and exploding all over the place. Midlife Revolution.
What? I need one of those air horns or something. Yeah, that's how you could tell I would be carried away. So, Wayne, what are we talking about today?
Well, Stacey, it's exactly a week away from the USA presidential elections. And folks are going through all sorts of emotions, depending on what side of the fence you're on. And one of the things that I know most of the people that I've been working with and are close to have had election fatigue, leading up to the election, the campaign, and all the rallies and all the stuff being spewed at us. And then the night where folks were poised and coming back. So people are still, a week later, still sort of unwinding and releasing and letting go. And some folks are so excited they can't wait to break through. And others are so concerned they're almost breaking down. So today, Stacy, we want to touch election hangover, strategies to recalibrate and rise.
Yes, indeed. I think that we are all, no matter what side, who you voted for, none of that matters to us tonight. We're really talking about the fact that all of us went through an experience the last 3 months, 6 months, who knows how many years, this experience of being bombarded with commercials. If you live in a, competitive state, an election state, one of those states like I do, Pennsylvania, the commercials were overwhelmingly just, not only were they all negative, but there was just so much coming at you. The commercials, it didn't matter if you were watching network television, if you were streaming, if you were watching cable, it didn't matter. You were getting commercials, listening to the radio. And so we recognize that bombarding, you're listening to all of that, you're watching sometime, and it does go in. Even if we feel like, I'm not really paying attention, it does go in. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to really talk about how to reset or reestablish our mindset on the things that are meaningful to us, on the strategies that help us as individuals, as the collective of midlifers, move forward. That's really what it's about. It's about, okay, now that that's done, we know that in every season post election there are ups and downs. So we're not even going to talk too much about that tonight. We're really here to talk about how you move forward.
Yeah, at the end of the day, our what locus of control, what we have power over, is limited to what we have power over. And
Hmm.
so we can't have postmortems concerned about, there's an old saying, let the dead bury the dead. So let's not waste time talking too much about what has passed. We now have to prepare ourselves for what's to come in terms of what we have control over, which is our thoughts, our beliefs, our words, our actions, our habits, and ultimately the
Hmm.
outcome for ourselves and our people that we are in trust of, whether you are a leader in an
Hmm.
organization or a family person. So today, as midlifers, and I love to celebrate midlife because, Stacy, midlife is a cool place to be at. When
Oh,
you are going through the pre-years leading up to midlife, you're still testing the waters and you're out there just planting flags and so forth. But midlife, Stacy, is where it starts dawning on you that it's about legacy building. It's about
yeah.
using the lived experience that you've had and garnered over the years and the knowledge. And like I like to say, to begin to sage rather than age.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right because it is about all the years that we have lived and learned, really establish a baseline of resilience that none others have. We've already seen highs and lows in the political environment, in the economic environment, in our homes, on our jobs. We've experienced the highs and lows of life. And so we've learned how to tap into ourselves. And I think sometimes we forget that we do have that depth of knowledge of how to say, hey, yeah, that did happen. Let me acknowledge what I just experienced and tap into who I am and what I know in order to move forward.
And we're coming to
Good
the
stuff.
season. We're coming to the season where people start looking at resolutions, the things that they are hoping to bring about for the following year. And my
Hmm.
brother Curtis, thank you and welcome back to Curtis. Thanks for joining.
Welcome back, Curtis.
Stacy, this is an opportunity for us to begin to craft and create a vision for ourselves. And so tonight we wanted to introduce a strategy which we call the WIN, WIN strategy, to help us to lift ourselves to another level, to rise and to soar in 25 and beyond. The winning vision strategy. You want to kick it off, Stace, or shall I with the W?
I'm happy to have you kick it off. Yet I wanted to say this is a perfect time. Here we are, beginning of November of 2024, and this is really the time for us to hit a little bit of a pause button and start to think and vision about what we want 2025 to look like, what we want in 2025. What do we see in 2025? And what do we want to have manifest in 2025? So I just wanted to add that, Wayne. So before you kick off with the W, to just say, like, this is the time to have this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely timely. And the last quarter, if you're a business person, you're looking at your books. If you're a private individual, you should still be looking at your books, but it's a time for assessing and certainly recalibrating, as you pointed out, a healing and also renewal. And when we talk about vision, it's so important as we move forward. And with coaching, Stacy, coaching is in the here and now, helping people to focus on the things that they must do to better their lives as they project to the future, right? We don't spend too much time in the past. And one of the things that this win formula or strategy teaches us to do to get out of wherever we are to move forward is to have a vision of wonder. What do I mean by wonder? Well, a vision that is awesome, wonder as in wonderment. If your vision is so rudimentary and routine, it won't spur you on to greatness and to do larger and bigger and better things. It's status quo. It's the ordinary. So one of the things that you have to do if you want to move forward and thrust out of this rut that you're in is to create a vision for yourself and your future that you find gives wonder, right? Is awesome. And that means just having a huge vision that will take you from the place that you are now out of ordinary or level living or a rut to another elevation. So the first part of the win strategy, Stacy, is to have a vision that has wonderment.
So good. So, welcome to those of you listening on LinkedIn. And it's so good to see Diana again. Welcome back, Diana. The strategy of wonderment is critical. And I believe it's just so, it's actually a divine strategy, right? We think about God, our creator, being the God of wonder, right? We look up at the sky, wonder, this vision. It's like things you imagine and begin to imagine. And there's so much power in us having this mindset that is focused on our growth, not our limits, our growth, not being stuck, but our growth. What can we see? What can we begin to envision? And so I love this idea of wonderment and really embracing where we are. Not, I wonder if this is going to go horribly. I wonder how I'm going to make it through. I wonder, if I'm going to be able to afford this coaching program. But from a sense of, I wonder how I'm going to make it through. I wonder how I can make my business grow. I wonder how I can really amp up my professional career. So I think there's such great opportunity in wonderment. And so we want to thank those of you that are new and welcome to the Midlife Revolution.
Baby Tamar, welcome, welcome.
Tamar. Welcome.
So we talk about wonder and we talk about awesomeness and we talk about you mentioned the wonder of God. And so here we are recreating for ourselves a new beginning when we talk
Mm.
about getting out of this funk, right?
Mhm.
Or whatever
Mhm.
it is that you're experiencing, this aftermath of a general election. It
Mhm.
wears on us oftentimes. And if you're not excited about your goal and your vision, then who else is going to be? And that takes us into the second part of the win strategy. And Stacy, you want to introduce it, please?
I'd be happy to introduce it because I think that if you realize that you're not inspired by your own vision, then it's time to dust off some of those imaginary cobwebs and really start to dream and vision again. Is it inspiring to you? Is what you see for your business, for your career, for your family, for your future? Is it inspiring to you? And if not, how do you begin to ask yourself some of the key questions and work with someone like Wayne or myself to really dig into those key questions? Because it should inspire you. Your winning vision should inspire you and be driving you forward. Doesn't mean it's always going to be easy, but if it inspires you, it will make it worth the journey.
And there's a difference between inspiring and motivating, right? Motivating typically
Mhm.
happens to self. Inspiring is where, by way of your works and your deeds, others are influenced, which is about leadership. And so we're saying that in order to have this great, awesome, wonderful vision to get to the next space, right? And time in your life, we're saying you have to check in to make sure that you're inspiring others, because you can't do it alone.
Mhm.
You must
Mhm.
have folks to help you get there. And that's part of what inspiration is about. John Maxwell says leadership is nothing more than influence. And so we're all leaders, no matter where we
Mm.
are in life. And so if you're moving forward
Yes.
and you want to be a leader, whether it's in your family or at home or at church, you have to be able to inspire people to join you and to help you get along, right? We do this on social media all day long. We are out there trying to connect with people, and the hope is that they will give us a like or share. That's inspiration right there.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that was good, Wayne. That was good. That is inspiration. And you brought up John Maxwell, and I just think about the reality that he's also reminded us that a leader is not leading without fellowship. People don't follow things that are not inspiring them. As the nonprofit executive, it's very important to us that as we look at things like our mission and our vision, that they inspire, not only inspire us, but inspire the staff and inspire people, so that as we position the opportunity, that when people see our mission and our vision, that they're like, oh yeah, I want to be a part of that. And so when you raised that you need to not only inspire yourself or be inspired, but that your vision should inspire others. What you're saying, what you're imparting should inspire others. That's really what makes a leader.
Absolutely. And Stace, there's a piece of it that oftentimes we ignore, and that is the road to get there. Now, when we talk about moving forward and
Mhm.
taking care of our future, how many of you got to work or came home using a GPS system? A lot of us use that
Mm.
today. And the reason why we're doing that is because we're hacking the system of the travel and the journey, where GPS helps us to navigate. And when we are looking at this win strategy to get beyond what we're feeling, the ick that we're feeling after such a long, drawn out battle, wearisome election process, we need to be able to navigate our way to a place where we feel a sense of peace and safety and security for ourselves and our families. We
Mhm.
can't stick in the mire. So one of the things to navigate is to make sure, and that's the third part of the acronym WIN that we're talking about today to get you where you need to be. Navigation is using the resources that are inherent around you and your resourcefulness to tap in to other people's ability to help to get you there. For example, get a mentor, get a sponsor, create a network. The richness of using other people's resources is going to be important. And in the Black community, this more than ever is a time to pull together and navigate towards where you envision yourself to be.
You know, Wayne, that was so good. And it is because one of the joys of coaching, and I imagine you experience this as well, is when your client has gotten to the point where they either have reached the destination, the goal, the accomplishment, or they have a clear path and can see their way to the destination. And when we are navigating, the reason that we rely on GPS is because it is a newfangled map, right? Those in the midlife generation, shout out to y'all that still know how to read a paper map, right? Heavens forbid the technology goes wonk and you are stuck somewhere. When you know how to read that map, when you have the map, you are able to really navigate your way from that stuck place to the destination, or at least get back on the road. And that to me is one of the joys of coaching, and that is helping each individual or each group that I coach identify their destination and some of the points that they want to stop at along the way, and then co-creating a map of how the individual will get there, navigating their way to their destination. That's good stuff. Good
I
stuff.
love that, Stacy. You know, Stacy, if I were to kind of put a bundle together to describe what we're talking about with the win strategy, creating a vision of wonderment, having a sense of inspiration, and having the means by which to navigate the course, I would say, Stacy, that what we're saying in common is having faith. If we're going to take ourselves to the next level, visioning is about faith. Because when we talk about vision, especially vision that's awesome, knowing that it doesn't matter what politician is in place, we answer to a greater power. And when we talk about visioning, it's having the faith to know that we can move forward no matter what we're faced with, right? Inspiration. It's walking the walk in such a way that by way of our example, those people behind us will want to join us because we are so solid. And navigation is all about faith as well, right? If we seek, we'll find, and if we knock, it we shall be open. And I hate to be preachy, but at the end of the day, people are asking, how do we get out of this fatigue, this election fatigue? It's about, folks, it's about having faith to know that we have our ancestors and others have done it, and we will and we can. Hold the faith and move forward.
Yes, Curtis, I agree with you. I was just thinking to myself, I wish I had a fire emoji because Wayne was on fire. That is so true. We have been through some things. We stand on the shoulders of people that have been through some things. And so we know that this is a moment in time. Whether you are ecstatic about who's going to be in the White House or you are devastated about who's going to be in the White House, it doesn't matter because this too shall pass. We have experienced 4 years fly by like this. What will you do with it? What will you do with the time that you have been given? And so that whole thing you just laid out about your faith and really pressing forward into what God has for you and moving into that with that faith. That was so good, Wayne. I don't even,
Yeah,
I'm done.
Stace,
I'm done.
we sometimes we lose the path because one of the things that I tell my fellows, hey, Delane, welcome, thank you. One of the, that's my sister. My sister, as in real biological sister.
Oh, not the
Yeah,
sister like I'm the sister. That's the
yeah,
real sister. Okay.
yeah.
Hey,
That's
Delane.
one of my blood sisters. Love her dearly. You're quite a model of a woman, and I thank you, Delane, for just being one that has inspired me. But
Amen. Thank you for joining us.
yeah, I want to say that one of the things that we have oftentimes done, which has allowed us to feel like we are struggling, is we have depended and relied on our own so-called powers and our own
Mm,
sense of what we can do. And at the end of the day, we can't do it on our own. And I think sometimes we are faced with challenges that allows us to become champions if we understand that we got a call on the Most High, right? If we recognize that we are not going to move forward as a group or as individuals unless we totally get enmeshed and you know follow as we know we should
mm-hmm,
the Most
hmm.
High.
Yeah, that and we have a beautiful community of support. I don't know, Wayne, if you've experienced the same thing amongst men of color and Black men in particular, but I know I have experienced a different level of unity amongst women of color, amongst Black women in particular. Um, and this was before the election, but really thinking about using each other as a resource, right? Tapping into getting the support that you need so that you can win. You are absolutely right. It is not in and of our own strength. Yet we have been given this group, this cloud of witnesses here on earth that we have the opportunity to tap into. So, don't be stuck and be alone. Really reach out, utilize the resources that you have. I love what this LinkedIn user said. To reset, stay in the now and look forward. There's still work to do, and each of us have a mark to make.
Yeah, Stacey, it's we're there. We're almost at the end. My gosh, does half an hour fly by quickly? But
It
Stacey,
does.
thank you, folks, for joining. And before we go, remember, you're not alone, folks. See a therapist if it gets to the place where you really need to talk with someone, or invest in a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Stacey and I will talk to any of you for free to just get a discovery call going to see how we can support you on the journey to become bigger, better, and bolder in midlife and beyond. So don't
Yeah.
be shy. At the end, you're going to be seeing after the outro how you can touch base with either of us and and get that going. Stacy, any last words before we promo a little bit of next show, which is same time Tuesday at 6:30 ET?
Well, I definitely want to thank each and every person, listener that had the opportunity to view us, to listen to us. Please share the Midlife Revolution Unleashed with those in your circles. We are really just here to support and uplift those in our community. We believe in the beauty and the richness of midlife. That is why Wayne and I are here. It is our honor that anyone would take the time to listen to what we have to say. We hope it is of value. Wayne has a litany of questions that he put together that we were going to throw out there, but it really is time to ask yourself, what do I see for me in 2025? What support do you need for that vision, to blossom that vision, and to move that vision forward? And so, thank you for joining the Midlife Revolution Unleashed. What are we talking about next week, Wayne?
Next week, we're going to talk about the power of words, and not only what you say, but what you ought not to say. So from the word came life. And so we're going to talk about word and words, the power of language and words in particular next week. So folks, if you want to tune in and learn how to communicate effectively with impact, certainly tune in next week, same time, for our Midlife Revolution. Stacy, it's good to see you again, sis.
You too. Wishing all of you blessings indeed.
And there you have it, folks. This week's episode of the Midlife Revolution. Hey, we truly appreciate you spending this time in this space with us. Join us next week at the same time as we dive into relevant topics and present solutions to spark new thinking and empower your midlife journey.
Don't forget, if today's episode resonated with you, share your thoughts and suggest topics in the comments. And of course, remember to subscribe, share, like, and hit that notification bell. You are the Midlife Revolution. I'm Coach Stacy, and I'm cheering you on.
And I'm Coach Wayne, and I'll see you at the top.